welcome back, everyone. I am Neil, and I will be your GM for today. We are back, and we are playing Blades in the Dark again. I have 3 fabulous players with me today. They are...
I am Ashlyn, playing Lena Felker, also known as Quips, the Slide.
I am Corin, and I am playing Svetlana Ajal, alias Kane, the Cutter.
And I am Ander, playing Hicks Keeler, also known as the Rat, who is the Lurk.
Most excellent. I am so excited to have you all back playing this fun little game with me, though I do owe you all a very deep apology. You see, last time we left off, I had said we would do an entanglement roll before the end of the episode, and you know what we didn't do?
Downtime.
No, you don't get to your downtime yet. We have to do your entanglement first.
I mean, surely we got away scot-free, yeah?
Not quite. Every action has a consequence. So, we're going to be rolling your entanglement. Here's how this is going to work. I roll the number of dice equal to your wanted level, and based on the number of heat you currently have, not what you earned on the job, what you currently have, something is going to happen. Could be good, could be bad, could be an obligation that requires you to do something you don't want to, but it'll be fine.
Question then. We had 0 heat before the job. Do we roll anything?
Since you don't have any wanted levels, instead of rolling 1 dice for wanted level, I'm going to be rolling 2 dice, and I'll be taking the lowest roll of the 2.
Aha.
And how many heat did you have last time? Anyone have that note?
That we gained from the job?
Yes.
5.
Excellent. Let's see what kind of entanglements you all run into. A 5 and a 3. Well, that 3 puts us into gang trouble or questioning. The Bluecoats grab an NPC member of your crew or one of the crew's contacts to question them about your crimes.
You know who it is. Roddy and Robbie.
It's quite perfect for Roddy and Robbie to be arrested and questioned because they set off fireworks at about the time you all were spotted leaving the ship. Roll 2 dice for a normal person to see how well they keep quiet. If they're an experienced underworld type or some kind of tough, give them 3 dice or 4 dice instead. If they're soft or they have some loyalty to the law, give them 1 dice or 0 dice. I'm going to give them just 2 dice for a normal person. They're not necessarily hardened and they're not necessarily aligned with the law. They're just a couple of firebugs. They're fine.
The good fellows.
They are good fellas. A 5 and a 2. A 5 is quite excellent. They do talk a little bit. Hicks's name is maybe dropped a couple of times as someone they spoke to that may or may not have suggested they put on the fireworks show. As a consequence of this, you gain 1 heat.
All right. That puts us up to 6.
When do we start getting into big trouble?
There are 3 more blank heat slots. After that, we get wanted levels. Isn't that exciting?
It's nice to be wanted. But maybe not like this.
No.
Definitely not like this. This is not what you want at all in the slightest. It's very bad for your health. Now we get to go to downtime!
Yay!
Here's how this works. Each player has 2 activities they can perform. There are several activities that are at your disposal. You can choose to start a long-term project if you have something in mind that I want to start building a contraption of some kind or some addition to the boat. You could attempt to acquire an asset if you have a job in mind that you maybe want to look into performing and you think this one tool would be very specific. You can choose to recover, go see a physiker or a medic or some other person in order to attempt to heal your many and troublesome wounds. You can choose to reduce heat, performing an action somewhere in the city to try and convince the populace and the Bluecoats in general that maybe you aren't the ones they're looking for. You can choose to train, adding experience to one of your attributes or your playbook advancement. You can also choose to indulge your vice and then reduce your stress.
One of those things might be very helpful for someone who has 8 stress points.
You don't say. Who wants to go first?
Well, I got the screaming shoulder here. I got shot last time. Go find the physiker. Do we happen to know anyone?
I have physiker friend.
Yeah, who's your friend?
They call him Sawtooth. I call him George. My nickname for him. He's Sawtooth, but I call him George. It's a joke.
Now, if I call him George, is this going to be a problem?
No.
We'll find out.
You go to the location specified. It's in an older part of the city. It's not great upkeep in general. There's a few leaks here and there. But the door opens and there's a very old figure with a snaggletooth on one side of the face, wispy, balding hair. Yes, what can I do for you?
I heard you a good physiker from my friend. Are you George?
If it's Kane, yes, I'm George.
All right. I got the screaming shoulder here. I got in a fight with a pistol. It bit a bit too hard. You got something for this?
I can manage something. Why don't you come inside? We'll take a look at it.
Okay. And I am taking the recover action. So I get treatment to tick a healing clock, like a long-term project. When you fill the clock, each harm is reduced by 1 level. So I currently have a level 2 harm, shot in the shoulder.
You will have to fill your healing clock twice to fully remove it. Once you fill it once, that second level wound will reduce to a first level wound. And then once you fill the clock again, it will go away.
Do we do a roll for this?
There is a roll. Yes. Whoever is healing you at any time or at any point rolls. You mark a number of segments on your healing clock. For a 1 to 3, you get 1. For a 4 to 5, you get 2. And if you get a 6, you get 3 segments. If you get a critical, you get all 5 segments. Do you have any notes on your Sawbones friend as to what kind of quality he can provide?
I have an up arrow for Sawtooth.
He is probably at your tier if he's a consistent contact for you. I have some good news and I have some bad news.
Doc, what's the good news?
Scalpel only partially rusty.
Oh.
Oh dear.
This is true. Sawtooth's tools are very old. He seems to have some supplies to keep them clean, but there is definitely some rust and some wear and tear and some chips in the blade. I believe what's happening here is if Doc is in fact a tier 0 and on par with you guys, he is rolling 2 dice and taking the lower of the 2.
Ooh, yikes.
Unfortunately, Sawtooth cannot critically heal you. But let's see how well he does, shall we? I rolled 2 6s.
Hey!
Yay!
It can't crit because it's the lower of the 2, but you do, in fact, still heal 3 segments on your healing clock.
What if I happen to slip him some coin? Here's a little something to get you some extra supplies.
Oh, spend a little coin, maybe
Yeah.
get some pain meds on top of that?
After the roll, you may increase the results level by 1 for each coin spent, by hiring assistance, paying a bribe, etc.
Interesting.
So this full success becomes a critical?
It would, in fact, become a critical, so you would heal a full 5 segments on your clock. So reduce that gunshot wound to a lingering bruise, and you have 1 tick mark on your new healing clock. Well played. Sure enough, Doc manages to reach back into his cabinet and find, well, it was expired, but he just scratches that out and hands you a bottle and take one whenever it ails you. Don't take them after a week or so. It's not good for you.
Oh, sure. You done good work, Doc. I'll be sure to send some more work your way, yeah?
Yeah, that'd be real great, for sure. Tell Kane I said thanks and hello.
Will do. And the rat lurks out of the room.
Excellent.
Downtime activity 1 complete.
Figure we each do 1 downtime activity around the table, and then go another round.
Sure.
Kane looks at her broken leg and goes, "It's okay. I need stress relief."
Priorities.
I'm at 7 stress.
Leg is broken and possibly infected or inflamed. I gotta go indulge in my guilty pleasure.
All right.
What do I do to indulge?
To indulge in your vice, you have to go find the purveyor of your vice in order to satisfy your needs. You will roll to find out how much stress relief your character receives. You are going to roll your weakest quality of insight, prowess, or resolve. You're going to make that attribute roll and clear stress equal to the highest die result. It's whatever has the fewest pips in insight, prowess, or resolve, and then you roll however many dice is there.
And pips as in like columns or all pips combined?
That single column specifically, yes.
So like if you don't have a pip on every single line, then it would be 0?
Yes, it would be 0.
So your lowest would be the insight.
It's good to have a diversity of skills because if you put everything into insight and prowess, then your resolve is dreadful and you'll never recover your stress.
Kane wears her normal attire, the large overcoat, the hat with the phrase at the back to make it look like she may or may not have brown hair. And every few blocks, she looks around to make sure nobody is following her. Eventually, she comes to the middle-class side of town. She looks around again and goes down an alleyway.
Okay.
She opens up the back door to a store, takes off her coat, sets it on a hanger, takes off her shoes, and because she has lift in her shoes, she's about 3 inches shorter, and then grabs something in a cubby. She calls out, "Janice, I'm here," and then goes into the bathroom.
Okay.
A few moments later, she comes back out wearing a cat onesie, walks to the front of the shop, sits in the middle of the floor, cross-legged, holds out her hands, and says, "Come here, my cute little kitty cats." She is volunteering in a cat cafe.
What specifically is your vice?
Pleasure.
All right. Well, what is your lowest stat between insight, prowess, and resolve?
Insight.
Fantastic. Go ahead and roll that dice and reduce your stress.
2.
You reduce 2 stress.
Okay. Only 3 cats come to me and we cuddle.
100%. I did not know where you were going with that. I don't think we're even in left field anymore. I think we've left the stadium.
Yep.
Is the cat onesie just so that Kane feels at one with the cats? Or is that a requirement to interact with the cats?
Good question.
It's probably a uniform of the cat cafe. Everyone wears some form of cat ears or tail or whatever. And, it's a cafe, so they're serving some food. So not everyone has the big fuzzy paws on.
Kane just likes to go extra.
It's also a black and white onesie. It's like a Sylvester the cat onesie. It's very cute. It's very adorable.
Cool.
I thought for sure that your vice purveyor was weird, not pleasure.
Could go either way.
Yeah. Anyways, let's keep rolling.
Yeah, let's keep going. Hey, Quips, how you doing?
Quips is so stressed right now. She needs to indulge a little bit in some of that wonderful thing known as shopping.
She's going shopping. Okay. All right.
She wants to get a new coat.
Ooh.
She's going to make her way over to the night market to visit Dunridge and Sons, who are known for their fine fabrics and tailoring.
Treat yourself. You sit through their measuring and their discussions, and they give you the options of what the fabric can be made of, what kind of cut, what style you're looking for.
Black leather, dear, and if you would be so kind as to add some silver embroidery embellishments to the side.
Of course. That would be wonderful. It will be magnificent when we are done.
Oh, you're such a treasure, thank you.
Roll that stress relief. What's your lowest stat of your insight, your prowess, or your resolve?
They all are equally 2.
Oh.
So.
Nice.
Well, roll 2 dice then.
Good job balancing.
Yeah.
5.
You reduce 5 stress from this particular interaction.
Excellent, I'm now down to 3.
You were such a wonderful customer. Your coat will be ready in a couple of days. Do come back in time. We don't like to keep things waiting and held in the back. And, shoo, go away. We have other customers.
Ta-ta, darling.
So I'm going to guess that your vice is luxury?
It's actually pleasure.
Okay.
Pleasure kind of has a overlap between both luxury and stupor.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's gonna overlap. She wants to go to the fancy parties.
Okay. If you do enough of this shopping, I will potentially allow you to roll for acquire an asset and get a fine outfit for the purposes of maybe infiltrating a party later.
I will save that for another time. But
Okay.
yes, this is for personal use right now.
Marvelous! Who wants to go next?
I'll go. Hicks is going to try and reduce some heat. He is going to do a bit of damage control. He got the guys into a bit of trouble, so he's going to try and get them out of it and pay off the right folks.
Interesting. What skill are you wanting to use?
This sounds like consort. I've only got 1 pip in it, but that feels like the right action, because I can't necessarily just prowl my way around to reduce heat on that, I think.
Would be difficult to imagine a prowl reducing heat in this particular scenario, but I think that's an excellent call. Pay some people off, make sure that, hey, leave Robbie and Roddy alone. They're harmless. They just set fire in the sky. It's better than the fire they set in the building last week.
They're good souls. It's been a long time since we've had the whole dock burned down.
It's been 2 years since that happened.
Grant's got a good tally on the board there of every day the dock is still in one piece.
Number of days without a warehouse fire.
All right, so I am going to go ahead and reduce heat.
Do it!
I have 1 dice.
You can't critical with it unless you roll a 6 and then pay up.
When you paid the coin to Sawtooth or George, was that taking from the crew inventory?
Yeah, that's party loot. We haven't divvied out cash at the moment. We have enough boxes that I'm gonna say let's each take 2, and then we put 2, 4, 6, I guess.
1 in the pot.
Yeah, one back in the bank. Okay.
And you've already spent 1 of your 2.
Yeah. So, and it looks like I can't roll bad on this. Regardless of what I roll, it will reduce heat.
That is correct. It will do something.
Well, I rolled a 2, which looks like it reduces 1 heat.
That is correct. On a 1 to a 3, you reduce only 1.
How do we feel about that? Do we want to drop it down further?
Your coin would only reduce 1 other heat if you spent it.
Save your coin.
All right. Rat has done that interaction, and the general consensus around town seems that, like, yeah, they're good guys. They're not in big trouble. They're just harmless.
The rumors begin to spread. They are firebugs. They do what they do, and maybe they weren't in fact connected with that boat out in the middle of the night.
A strange coincidence.
I will say, if you do ever go back out to the Leviathan Hunter and try and take some more Leviathan blood, you probably won't be able to ask Robbie and Roddy to set off any fireworks.
Sure.
They will need a little bit more persuading in that regard.
But also, you don't want to repeat your old tricks. People get onto you much faster that way.
Kane is wearing an orange onesie today.
Okay. we're going to
Doing
go.
some more stress relief?
More stress relief.
Okay.
I got a 1.
My goodness.
Reduce 1 stress.
Can I pay coin for this?
You want to pay coin to increase it?
Does it reduce it by 1 per coin?
You go up to the next tier on there.
The next tier would be 2, because there's no tier.
Oh, right.
You could probably just save the coin to do an additional activity.
I am now currently at 4 stress, but I would like to use a coin to do 1 more action, if that's okay.
Yes, absolutely.
I will pay 1 coin to go see my good friend George. I walk into his open door, because he has an open door policy.
With your orange onesie on?
Oh, no.
The orange onesie does not leave the back room.
But I walk in and go, George.
Oh, Kane. Hi. Hello. What seems to be the trouble?
I point to my clearly disfigured leg.
What did you do? Oh, goodness. No. Come in. Sit down. Oh, goodness. What'd you do? You get in a fight with a hull or something?
Yes.
Really? You know what? No, I don't want to know.
Okay, I took Vigorous as my special ability. I recover from harm faster. Permanently fill in 1 of your healing clock segments, so instead of 4, I get 3.
Whoa.
Ooh.
And take 1 dice to healing treatment rolls.
At base, George is a tier 0, so he's rolling 2 dice, taking the lower. He's a friend and contact of yours, so he gains 1 dice. You are vigorous, which means you roll an extra dice to it.
So I roll 2.
Yes. Do you want to roll it? I had been rolling for it thus far.
Oh,
but
you can roll it, yeah.
You might have better luck.
Been rolling real bad today.
That is a 2 and a 3.
And then now you can spend coin to boost it if necessary.
To make this a 3rd activity, but could you spend another coin to increase the result?
You could currently, on a roll of 1 to 3, you would heal 1 segment. If you spend your coin, you will get to fill in 2 instead of 1.
Yeah, I'll use all my coin.
Okay. Fill in 2 of those healing segments.
I have no concept of money. I'm a noble.
That's a concerning thought. Crew, take notes.
Do not let Kane be in charge of coin purse, guys.
I now have 3 segments filled in. but still a broken leg.
So you got a little limp, maybe?
I got a splint.
Most excellent. Which brings us finally to Quips.
I would like to help reduce some heat.
Reduce the meat?
That's what I heard.
Reduce some heat.
Okay. I was like, I don't want to reduce my meat. I want all the meat in the world. I love
We can't take her to Arby's. She just reduces all the meat.
Note, never introduce Kane to Arby's.
Never.
Quips would like to visit some of the local bars and taverns, spreading some gossip, getting the rumor mill going about, which group do we not like?
Oh, okay. Here's a thought. We could try and say that it was an inside job from the Bluecoats. They're the ones guarding it, after all.
Mm.
And the Bluecoats are already known for taking bribes.
I like it. I'm going to spread the rumor that the Bluecoats actually made this an inside job. They actually paid somebody off to stage a theft so that they could pawn their own portion of the goods, but make it seem like someone else had stolen it.
Interesting. I like that. What skill would you like to use?
Probably Sway.
Sway is a good one. Sway is specifically persuading people to believe that this is the case.
That's what I do as a slide.
Marvelous.
So I will roll 2 die.
Mm-hmm.
2 dice. Oh no, those are both 1. Let's see. Reduce heat. Reduce heat according to the result level.
At this tier, you would reduce 1 heat. If you were to spend a coin, you would reduce 2.
Think that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
All right.
Would that take us down to 3 or 4?
It would take us down to 3 heat.
Okay.
So I'm going to spend a coin.
Well done, team.
Woohoo! Those darn Bluecoats. They can't get away with this.
You might as well call them green coats. They're so greedy.
Now it's time to start thinking about more work. What do you guys want to do next? You want to go out and reach some contacts? You want to see if anyone has word for you?
Do we want to go back to Elena? She was a wealth of information. She had 3 jobs for us.
I do want to make sure that we get some additional sources. It's wonderful that Elena is a dear friend who can share some wonderful information with us, but when that well runs dry, it's good to diversify.
That's a good idea. You've always got that business sense.
We could reach out to my friend Cavell Danfield. He's an information dealer. He might know a few jobs.
He's got that inn? No, it's a tavern. Cavill's Den, right?
Cavell's Den, indeed. It is near the Nobody's Inn where we went to see Elena last time.
That's right.
Drink, now, go.
Yeah, we're going.
Kane, you're always so impatient for these things.
Go!
You all arrive at Cavill's Den. It's not super busy. There's a handful of customers. Cavil seems to be vigorously cleaning something behind the bar.
Oh, Cavell, darling, it's so good to see you.
Oh, not you again.
Oh, he says that every time. Such a charmer.
What do you want, Quips?
Ale.
Ale for my friend here.
He goes and grabs a mug, fills it with an ale-looking substance, and sets it on the counter.
I pass him, just a little.
He takes the
Tip.
coin and leaves.
Okay, got drink. What now?
What about you two?
I'll just take a drop.
I don't have that.
Rat just starts speaking gibberish. He's been overcome by a ghost.
Oh, no!
Okay.
Cavell, why don't you give my friend Rat and I your finest?
Rat sits up. He's like, well, I was going to just get the grog.
His finest is the grog, Rat.
Okay, hey.
He comes back with 2 cups of... Calling it sludge would be an insult to sludge. It's an alcoholic beverage. Probably.
Yeah, that's the right stuff.
Quips is going to take hers and she's going to down it like a shot.
Whoa.
Slowly nurse mine.
Cavell, it's the finest grog in the dusk of all.
Quit your flattering. What do you want?
I was wondering if you might have some jobs for my crew. Anything for those who are looking to get some more reputation in this sphere of smuggling.
You like the city? You like staying here?
Yeah, sure. Not opposed to leaving if it requires.
There's one fella. He's expecting a delivery of some kind. Delivery won't come into the city.
You know the old ruins outside of town? They're supposed to be making the drop there. He wants somebody to go get it for him.
Sounds right up our alley.
Good.
Do you know how much he's offering to pay for someone to render these services?
He said 6 coin, but he didn't look like the kind of person who has that kind of scratch.
Desperate for help, but no one is stupid enough to take him up on it, I take.
No one wants to leave the lightning wall.
That's fair.
Plus, he's liked to meet everyone who's wanted to take the job, and he's, what's the word?
Eccentric?
Creepy, is what I would say.
Boat, carriage.
You're gonna have to take a carriage of some kind. You can go on foot, but still got a package that, according to him, is rather sizable. Tools for a good friend is all he'll say. I don't know what it is.
Can you vouch for this individual? Excellent.
What area of the world does Cable look like he's from?
Cable is incredibly weather-beaten. There's not a whole lot of identifying features other than he was a sailor. The white hair, the age, the cap he's seen with almost constantly. If you had to pick a location, he's probably mostly a local. If I had to guess, he doesn't have the Scovelin accent. He doesn't have cultural features of other places in the world. He's just kind of a generic sailor.
Well, where might we find this eccentric gentleman? Assuming it's a gentleman.
Close enough, I guess. I can set up a meeting. Wherever he suggests, he's not really open to ideas of mutual meeting points.
Kane, dear, I think it will take a day or so for Cavell to give us the information so that we can meet with this potential associate.
Kane's gonna stare at Cable for a moment, then reach out her hand and give a scritch on his head with a blank expression on her face.
Keeping eye contact with you, his hand is going to reach over for a cleaver that's sitting on the counter. He's going to wrap his hand around it.
Good boy. And then I take my hand away.
Rat is stopped with his mug of grog just hovering in front of his face, just shocked.
Weird company you're keeping, Quips.
Yes, well, one does the best that she can when her resources are limited. But they're good people.
I'll keep you posted.
I appreciate it ever so much, darling. Also, could I have another of your finest for the road?
Hang on. And he's going to go wander around and find some old cup that he doesn't care about anymore. Fill it with grog, set it in front of you. There.
I'll bring it back, don't worry.
I don't care.
Thanks, Cavil.
Get out of here.
Until next time, darling.
As you all are leaving, Hicks,
Yes.
you see a figure who's following you rather nervously.
Is it someone that I recognize?
It is. It appears to be Tilda. She dives down an alleyway to get out of the main thoroughfare.
I'll catch up with you guys in a second. I've got something I gotta do real quick.
We go shop.
Sure, let's do a girls' shopping trip.
I hold out my arm in a gentlewomanly fashion, and we go shop.
Excellent.
Gonna find you the best outfit, darling.
Hey, Tilda, what's up?
I think I have a problem.
What do you mean?
Well, I was asked for help. I don't know what it is, but it came to me, and it keeps coming to me, and it says it wants passage to below the burning, and I don't know what that means.
Below the burning?
Yeah,
What's it look like? How does it present itself?
it wears a coat, kind of, but the coat's too big, and I tried to look underneath it once, and I didn't like what I saw.
No, you don't want to do that.
No. It looked like fishing hooks and nets and remnants of fish bone and scales and the scrum that the fishers market throws out.
Hicks pulls his knit cap off his head and runs his hand through his perpetually oily hair.
It doesn't seem violent. If anything changes, can I let you know?
Yes.
Okay.
When does it want to go? Does it need to go right now? I mean, it keeps coming to you.
It hasn't said. It's eager to go. It's definitely eager. That much I can tell, but I don't know. It hasn't said a when. I don't know if it understands when.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Where does it come to you?
I've been on 3 different street corners in the last several weeks, and it's found me every time. It gives me what it thinks is a donation.
She reaches into her coat in one of her pockets and pulls out a conglomeration of knotted fish hooks and fishing equipment that has been bent and twisted into a single solid lump.
Yeah, I bet that'd be hard to shift. At least it's not hooking you.
Not yet.
If it happens again, let me know.
I will. Thank you, Hicks.
Take care of yourself, Tilda.
I'm trying.
And she'll wander down the alley.
All right. Not necessarily a promise of payment unless we like fishing hooks, but
You could maybe get other things.
maybe. Certainly taking care of somebody I care about.
Mm-hmm. If it is a demon or just several ghosts in a trench coat, we don't know.
Several ghosts in a trench coat.
Ghosts are this world's kobolds.
Lenny, you control the right arm. Harry, you control the left arm. I'll control the torso. And then Mac will be the voice. All right?
How do we make people know that we're not ghosts?
Grab that fishing gear.
We meet back up at the Titanic.
I got you a scarf.
That's a nice scarf.
It goes very well with her complexion.
Thank you.
You might want to dirty it up a bit, just so you're not too noticeable.
I drop it in the scum water.
Yeah, there you go. Much better.
Lena looks on in disappointment.
Still look good. Thank you, Lane. Quips. Thank you, Quips.
We're in closed quarters. You can call me Lena. It's fine. Just when we're around people who don't know us, you can call me Quips then.
Where you go, Rat?
I had a friend. She's been visited by something. I'm worried about her. This thing that says it wants to go somewhere, which we might be able to help facilitate. And it's not the first time it's come to her. It's come probably like 3 or 4 times. Told her to let me know if it happens again, but it might be a demon, might be ghost. I don't know. It's probably not something that's gonna pay super well, but Tilda's a good sort. She always keeps an eye out, and I keep an eye out on her. We've been friends for a long time, and I want to take care of her. Don't want her getting messed up by something that's made of fish hooks.
Why approach her?
Who knows? She's available. Maybe it can see that she's connected to us. I don't know.
Maybe she just has a natural talent to connect with whatever this thing is.
Maybe.
Rock guy, pay, maybe, maybe not. Friend, favor.
Yeah, we might be able to get a favor from her. Tilda's always good. She doesn't have a lot of cash, but she sees things.
Rat, I think any friend of yours that needs our help is a friend worth helping.
Oh, that's kind, y'all. I'll let her know.
I'm not totally heartless, darling.
Meet with payer.
The creepy guy that
Our
Cavill told us
eccentric.
about it.
Yes. Meet first, then decide.
Smash cut to some abandoned, closed down cafe. Cavill sent you the information, said that the individual will meet you here. The door will be unlocked. Go inside. Try not to cause a mess. Try not to burn it down. And try not to hit him as much as possible.
Quips enters first, wearing her fabulous new coat.
There's a figure sitting cross-legged on a table in the middle of the room. They are covered in markings, runes, lines, esoteric symbology. Their eyes are currently closed. They seem to be in a meditative position. They are wearing something akin to tattered shorts, and the only covering on their upper body is a shawl that sits over their head and drapes down their shoulders and down their arms.
Are there any chairs in this abandoned cafe?
There are 3 chairs, a short distance away from the table.
Quips is going to take a chair, languidly spread out her legs, and take off her tricorn hat as she waits for this individual to acknowledge their presence, while also waiting for Kane and Rat to take a seat as well.
I will sit in the middle in case things get weird fast. I have direct contact with dude.
And Rat does not sit down. He goes to the side. He's looking around, checking windows, making sure that there's no surprises. Don't like surprises.
it's a pretty good place. All of the vantage points you have, they have very thin looks to the outside. It's unlikely anyone's going to be able to see you in here. It was a well-chosen location.
Okay.
As you all settle yourselves into place, this figure, eyes still closed, smiles. And there's a creepiness to the smile, and you're not sure whether it's because the teeth are deeply yellowed, almost browned and cracked, or the fact that most of them are sharp and pointed like a shark. I am so pleased you chose to join today. I have a task for you. He opens his eyes and begins looking all of you over.
What do his eyes look like?
One eye is entirely black. The other is... perhaps he's been ill for a while. It is mostly yellow. You can't really tell much of a color there. Maybe it was a brown at one point. Maybe it was a darker green. It's hard to tell.
Bros and liver failure. Uh-oh.
I take it then you are interested in retrieving that which I seek?
Perhaps.
Depends on what you're willing to offer and if you're good for the money.
Of course. I would never offer that which I cannot provide.
Brad's gonna side-eye the other guys, just like, creep.
Quips, meanwhile, is complete dead face, not reacting at all. She is holding this facade.
Kane is just staring in his eyes. No reaction whatsoever.
Got the two most immovable emotional people.
I have an item on the outside. I am told by Cavil that you have been informed of the drop location, which eases my explanation something greatly. You will require a cart to bring it back in. I doubt the three of you together could carry it all that way on your own.
Pay. How much?
How much? Oh, how much? It is very valuable to me, and I will give quite a bit to acquire it. I gave Cavil an amount in mind to try and entice those to be willing to go outside the wall in the event where perhaps things are expedited. I could perhaps include a favor for you on top of your payment. I would be willing to do this for you.
What is it?
What is it?
Yeah. Like,
Oh.
we gotta know what kind of things we gotta prepare for with our cart. Do we need special preparations to take care of it? Is it dangerous?
Worry not, there is no danger in the box or the tools included inside. It is just very large and very heavy.
Looks over to Quips.
I think it's right up our alley.
Wonderful, wonderful.
How big? Show me.
Oh, how big. I believe it should look something like this. And he raises his hands, and you all see this spectral form begin to appear behind him. A large 8-foot figure of some kind with massive arms and legs. But it will be in a box, so it is closer to this. And the entire form begins to shrink down into the size of a large box carrying something of this size that has been pretzeled into place.
Yes, that does seem very large. And you have a carriage to provide for the transfer?
No.
So we would need to provide the carriage.
Yes.
You connect with Spirit World.
Yes. Often.
Pay and favor?
If delivery is quick. I understand the difficulties in bringing things into the city. I would rather not the eyes above us pay attention to what it is that I am using the tools for, myself or my friend.
If say yes, friend name.
You wish to know the name of my friend? Oh, I suppose that could be acquired. Would you want that payment up front or upon delivery?
Will not count as favor.
No, the name is not part of the favor. It is simply information.
Before.
Now I have to come up with a name.
So good, though.
You are knocking out of the park with that creepy guy. Good job.
You guys can't see Neil, but he is very creepy in his movements.
He's done very good pantomime on this. Rat has certainly tumbled to the floor. He had been kind of leaning up against the wall, but when we saw the visage of the creature, he lost his footing and ended up falling to the floor and has tried to recover some of his composure.
My friend's name is Sabbath.
Man, there's no like insight or like history checks
Nah.
going on here.
We assume that people will lie.
Of course. So I am from a noble family.
Sure.
I would have had to learn everything under the sun, including things about ghosties and demons and things like that. Does Sabbat, is that what the name was?
Mm-hmm.
Does Sabbat ring a bell? Mostly I'm thinking like etymology language-wise. Is it a name? Is it a historical figure?
I believe there is a study skill.
Yes. Study a person, document, or item with close scrutiny to gather information and apply knowledge. Gain a deeper understanding. Do research.
Would you like to make a study roll at this particular moment?
I really would.
Let's say controlled for limited result. He's a weird guy. He's from a weird place. His friend is probably equally weird, if not more so.
I have 0 in this, so I get to roll
Oh.
with disadvantage. I got a 6 and a 5, so mixed
Hey.
success.
Incredible.
Where were you?
Well done.
Waiting for this moment.
You asked me for the etymology. He is a Taikarosi. The name feels correct. He is unusual. His methods are not common even amongst Skovlin. The name is Taikaros in nature. I don't think you would know enough to know the meaning behind the name. It doesn't strike you as anything of incredibly dangerous power. It seems like it's just a name.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're not bringing like ye old Abaddon into into the lightning barrier.
Not yet.
So, do you accept my proposal?
Well, if we are to be employed by you, it would be helpful for us to know your name.
Oh, of course. How very rude of me. I am Tolmer.
When do you need this done? You say soon, say quick.
Soon is always better than later. We have waited a very long time, and our contacts are ready to deliver upon my word, but we have had no one willing to fetch our trinket and bauble. So we wait, and we sit until someone accepts our terms.
When he says trinket and bauble, Kane looks at hands really close and moves them bigger, trying to decipher why this would be considered a trinket or a bauble.
This 8-foot-tall monstrosity thing.
Yes.
Quips is going to look at Kane, give a nod, look towards Rat,
He's gonna shrug and say, yeah.
turn to Tolmer. I think you have a deal.
Wonderful, wonderful. I will retract my offerings to my other contacts until I hear word from you of success. I do wish you the best of luck.
Pleasure doing business with you. Quips is going to put on her hat again, stand up from the chair. Until next time.
Until next time, I will have the drop information and any contacts delivered to you soon.
Through Cavell?
Yes, I could. Would you like me to come see you directly?
Preferably not. Both for your sake and mine.
Then I will ask Cavil.
It's a plan.
Wonderful. Ta.
Ta-ta.
I wait until my 2 companions get close to the door, and I walk up to him, give him a Skovlin bow. Eyes yellow.
Yes, it has been for a while.
I point to his feet. Gout. More vegetables. And then I walk out.
You leave to the sound of...
As soon as we're out, Quips is going to visibly shudder. Oh, that laugh. It's going to haunt my nightmares for at least a week.
Yeah, no kidding. Great bleeding sun below. Sheepus.
Not as bad as brother.
Oh, dear heavens, Kane. What have you been dealing with all your life?
We go.
It doesn't take very long. You are delivered an information parcel from Cavil. He is rather upset and asks why on earth I was visited by that thing again.
Not thing. Person.
This is for you. I don't want to deal with this again.
I hand over a tip.
He leaves.
Oh, here's your cup.
Keep it!
So what do we got? I looked over at Ashlyn, waiting for her to open it up.
There is some good news and bad news. Bad news is that the ruins are fully outside the lightning wall. The good news up to this point is that the drop point, while it is mostly toward the middle of the city space, the ruins do lead up directly to the waterfront, an old waterfront. There are places where you could bring your boat to dock in. As for how you're going to approach it and deal with the things outside of the wall, that part's up to you. So I will say at this point, is this the job we definitely want to take?
I think so.
Yeah, at this time, yeah.
Until we hear back from Telda.
Marvelous. Then I would ask then, how do you guys want to approach this? You can perform an assault, a deception, a stealth, an occult direction, a social direction, or focusing on transport.
Definitely assault.
The cutter always wants to say that.
Nah, probably transport or stealth.
I definitely think transport because we are trying to move a thing to another place and we're going to have to figure out a carriage. And if we could figure out how to transfer the item from the carriage to the barge inside the Titanic.
I think transport is probably our thing. We have to figure out the most of moving it as opposed to just avoiding notice.
It's true. The detail point you need to decide for the transport is the route you're taking and the means by which you are transferring things.
Yeah, that sounds the most important, I think.
We're going to have to find a carriage.
Now, as a point of note, while the three of you probably couldn't carry it the whole distance from the ruins back to town, the three of you together could probably lift it onto and off of, say, a cart.
I bet some of my docker friends might have some equipment that could be on loan for lifting heavy things from one space to another space.
I like how you think, Rat.
Using Docker cargo transport. Are we taking the land route, or do you want to try and take your boat out?
Is our boat big enough?
It would be bulky sitting on the boat, but I would say yes. You have enough space to get this cargo aboard your ship.
We are more proficient and more familiar with the waterways. Where's the drop point again?
Somewhere in the middle of the city. For purposes of this mission, once you get past the lightning wall, you can pretty much get to wherever you need to as long as you don't go through poor gang territory.
Okay.
So in this case, I say ruins. We're talking about the Lost District up here.
The Lost District, in capital letters. Once a wealthy area, ravaged by plague, then abandoned to the Deathlands when the second lightning barrier was built. Contains many lost treasures for the foolhardy to seek out. Just curious about the lightning walls. Does it, go into the... Oh, I see it. It's all the, big crosses on the map.
Junction points, yes.
It looks like there's a couple points, in the actual water. So we actually don't have to go very far to get within the lightning wall.
Correct.
If we can get a small cart, we're going to go through by boat.
What kind of loadouts are all of you taking?
I want to take a medium load.
We'll do normal load for the rat.
Quips will also do normal.
Bunch of normal loads. Well, let's get that entanglement roll going, shall we?
Engagement roll.
Your engagement roll, you're right. Entanglement happens after the mission.
I was like, oh no, we've already failed.
We've already failed.
It was like,
Once again, we'll see who rats you out. No. We start with 1 die for sheer luck. Next, we have to answer a couple questions. Is this operation particularly bold or daring? I would say it's pretty daring. You're leaving the lightning wall. You're going to the abandoned part of the city that has who knows what horrors inside of it. So I'm going to give you another die for daring and boldness. Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? No, I don't think so. There's not a particular defense or problem that you're going to encounter, so I won't take away any dice. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation? Talking to the dock workers to get some equipment, that would count as having some help from friends and contacts. We don't have an explicitly named contact, but it's in your background, so I'll allow it. I'm a generous GM.
Thank you, Jim.
It was Gemma.
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 Thank you, Gemma.
I can't think of any other engagement issues with this particular mission. And I can't think of any other penalties I want to try and take away from your die pool, so you guys are rolling your engagement with 3 dice.
Ooh.
Oh, that's awesome.
We've got a good chance of being in control of the situation.
Let's see how we do, shall we? 2 1s and a 4.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that's just how the odds are.
I'd rather the 4 than the 1.
It's very true. 4 of 5 is a risky position. As you begin, we do have a conundrum. You have to get past the lightning wall in the first place. Normally not an issue. The lightning wall is taken down for ships to enter and exit as needed. But people sailing through without proper documentation or reason.
We have upgraded documents.
Oh, you do? That is a part of
We
your...
have quality documents.
Corin mentioned it like 3 times in the last episode.
You are correct, and now it is coming into play.
That's the only one I remember.
Maybe we can go behind somebody.
Slipping behind a much larger vessel and drifting your way out of the harbor until you're well out of sight of the harbor masters and the harbor patrol.
What if we do that first? And if anybody questions us, then we use our documents?
Sure. That's a fun thing.
So who wants to make our first roll?
Because we are trying to do so quietly, Rat is going to lead this one.
Ooh, excellent.
No, because we're all on the ship. Is this leading an action or just taking an action?
What action are you wanting to roll?
Handling a vehicle is finesse. Can I have some assistance, perhaps?
Do we roll our own finesse? Or do we roll 1 die? Or...
One moment.
It's up to you whether this is a group action or a single action.
I am all right if it's leading a group action.
Roll each character who participates in the group action. The best single result counts as the action result, which applies to every character that rolled, but whoever is leading it takes stress.
For each failure, yes.
Okay. I roll with disadvantage.
Quips, what's your finesse?
1.
All right, everyone roll that finesse. Risky for standard effect.
I rolled a 4 and a 6, so a 4.
I have a 1.
2.
Take 2 stress. And as a mixed result, you do get noticed by the harbor patrol. You don't fully make it out of the lightning wall.
Time to show those documents.
The harbor patrol pulls up alongside your boat, hails you down.
Hey, how's it going? We're just making our way through here. Why don't you talk to the captain?
So sorry. We're late to pick up our cargo.
You have permits for this vessel?
Yes, of course, and here they are.
What would you like to roll to convince them that everything is kosher? You do have quality documents.
Yes.
How do items apply?
Quality represents the effectiveness of tools, weapons, and other resources, usually summarized by tier. Fine items count as +1 in quality, stacking with the tier. To assess effect level, start with your gut. Then, if needed, assess factors such as potency, scale, and quality. If the PC has an advantage in a given factor, consider a higher effect level. If they have disadvantage, consider a reduced effect level.
Ah, and they are just quality documents, yes?
Yes.
I'm going to roll a die of fate. If I roll 6, the organization that is known as the Harbor Patrol is a tier 0. If I roll a 4 or a 5, they are a tier 1. If I roll a 1 to a 3, they are a tier 2. Acceptable?
Yes.
That is a 6. They are a tier 0. So,
Woo!
Amazing.
So we automatically succeed, right?
you do still need to make a roll to persuade them.
Oh, okay.
So, we turn back to quips.
I want to mesmerize them.
Ooh.
All right.
When you sway someone, you may cause them to forget that it's happened until they next interact with you. Well, if you can see from our documents here, we are going to this place and we are going to pick up these items, and it's just a routine pickup.
This sounds definitely like a sway roll, especially if you're wanting to use your mesmerize. Risky, it would be for standard effect, but because of your documents being of a higher tier, I would say it would be for great effect.
If I want to push myself, is that before or after I roll?
That is before you roll.
And is 2 stress.
I don't want to do that yet. My dice hate me today.
Oh.
Both ones?
Well, they definitely think you're talking too much. Someone who's on a routine circuit probably wouldn't be trying to say, oh, it's just routine, don't worry about it.
It's very normal. Very normal.
Totally above board.
Very suspicious. They don't believe you. You don't have cargo on your ship, so they don't have any reason to arrest you or hold you per se, but they can definitely ask you to come in for questioning, which would derail your passage quite a bit. I'm going to start a clock for Tolmer's expectation. If you can complete the mission before the clock is completed, Tolmer will give you your coin and your favor. But if the clock runs out because you get detained, you don't get the favor because you didn't expedite his delivery.
I like that. Having a concrete knowledge of whether we've done that or not to be able to get the bonus.
I think I'm going to make a 6-piece clock.
He did say soon.
And as penalty, this was a risky result. I'm going to fill in 2 pie pieces.
Oof.
As it was a risky roll.
I will resist.
You are immediately going to take 6 stress, and then you will roll either insight, prowess, or resolve. Based on that result, you will find out how much stress you don't take.
Okay, I'm going to roll for resolve.
I'll take that. Resolve is a good one. If you had said prowess, I would have asked you to pick something else. Because you can't prowess your way out of this, but resolve is confidence, is audacity.
Come on, 6. Come on, 6.
Got a 4.
That's something.
Okay, so you will take 2 stress as a result of that, and you do not, in fact, get detained. You are going to be permitted to keep going.
Sorry about that. I'm kind of nervous. My first time leaving the lightning wall.
How many people are on this boat?
Including you 3, probably at least one other guy from a patrol boat that came up.
So it's just 2 guys on that patrol boat?
Probably.
I stand up with my broken leg and say, "Come, dear," and then purposely hobble my way. So it's like, we got an injured person on here. Like, where are we gonna go?
What are we gonna do?
I'm going for sympathy points.
You get your sympathy points.
Thank
Yes.
you.
The rest of the journey up to the ruins, probably not too difficult, if I'm being perfectly honest. Where are you guys going to dock?
We want somewhere that's going to be able to make it easy to get it on.
Yep.
Yeah.
So-
So is that a survey?
That's probably a good thing to do.
Yeah.
We want somewhere sturdy. I've got 1 in survey
0.
1.
Documents. Can that include a map?
on our load.
Yes.
So if you marked one of your loads to have documents
Ooh.
for a map.
I would allow that. That would be acceptable.
I am marking off one of my load for map documents.
Marvelous.
Could we use that to increase our effect for making our survey roll?
I would say yes. Yes, you could. I'm going to give you a choice. It will either be risky for standard and the documents can give you another die to roll, or you can use the item to increase the effect.
We probably want another die roll, right?
Yeah, we want the dice. I'm doing this.
Yes.
Okay. 5 is our highest here.
Okay.
Whew.
It will take time, and time is in fact your enemy here. As a consequence, I'm going to fill in 1 piece.
Sheesh, these old ducks are a jungle in here. Like a swamp.
Map not updated for 10 years. There?
Yeah, that looks like a good spot. See if we can get in there.
You finagle your way. You have now moored. It's quiet. There hasn't been any supernatural or weird things happening yet so far.
Let's not dawdle. We are on a limited time, and the sooner we get back under that wall, the sooner my nerves will calm.
We have a cart that we're using to move it.
That would have to go under load, right?
Probably.
An unusual weapon, aka cards.
Where'd you get that piano?
Would it be an unusual weapon or a large weapon?
Could be a large weapon.
It's not a weapon.
Not with that attitude.
I will use flashback. That seems to be the appropriate way of doing it.
Excellent.
I'm going to use my contacts in the doctors to get a hold of a hand drug.
You invoke a flashback to roll for an action in the past that impacts your current situation. What action would you like to roll to talk to your docker friends to borrow this cargo dolly?
I would certainly consort.
Consort, okay.
Honestly, might ask for a buddy to come with too. Somebody who's well acquainted with the tool.
This is not a risky environment. You know this group. You've worked with them before. This is controlled, and I will say it's for standard effect.
What's the stress cost on? Is it 0 stress for an ordinary action for which you had an easy opportunity, 1 stress for a complex action or unlikely opportunity, 2 or more stress, an elaborate action that involved special opportunities or contingencies?
This is a rather simple thing. 0 stress. It's not like you're having to negotiate with the union and be like, now he can only work on these particular days if he goes with you on your boat to work with this tool.
1 die. There's a 2.
You will get your cart and you will get somebody to help you, but in this case, the person may not be super helpful.
Sure.
So, there is in fact the appropriate tool on your boat now, and we'll say that Olvar has come with you to assist in this manner.
Olvar knows how to handle a hand truck, but that's about it.
It's all we need.
I'm not saying anything. I don't want to spoil the surprise.
Sure.
He's a tier 0.01.
All right, Olvar, let's get that card up here. We're going to go ahead and get to the pickup point.
You move slow, Ovar.
Slow and steady. Slow and steady.
Yes, but need to get out of boat. And then I lightly tap him with my crutch.
You all get the cart out. Olvar travels with you guys as you begin to head into the Lost District towards where you've been told the rendezvous point is. Although there is a problem with the Lost District. It is a little haunted.
I have a 0 load item called a Spirit Bane Charm.
Yes.
So I'm just going to mark this off real quick.
It will generally prevent ghosts from trying to possess you. Doesn't necessarily prevent them from harming you per se, but you won't get possessed, which is a definite bonus, and it doesn't count towards your total load. Good call.
Is
Yeah.
that something that all of us would have if we knew that we were going into the Lost District?
It's under my items category, and it's italicized, which I believe is 0 load.
It is listed under the standard items list.
I mean, I have it on my list too, so
Me too.
There
Yeah.
you go.
I'm going to say we all have it.
Marked.
Excellent.
Mine is a cute little earring of a kitty cat.
Oh, that's funny.
Why am I not surprised?
Well, if we're going to go with earrings, then I'm going to say mine is the red earring that she already wears in her left ear.
Rats is a necklace that was made by a friend.
May I offer, because dock worker and supplies and materials, perhaps it is a woven leather amulet.
Yeah, I like that.
Good choice.
I do have my moments. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know where you're going. You have a map of the district. The streets, a couple of them have crumbled buildings that you've had to work around, but your direction is generally the same. Though as you turn a particular corner, you do see a small conglomeration of ghosts wandering about in maybe what used to be a farmer's market, buying and selling things that they don't actually have anymore. And we'll figure out what on earth you guys are going to do to get past it next time.
Oh no!
Ah, ghosties.
In the farmer's market.
I hope that was enjoyable for everyone, and we will pick this up with the next episode. Goodbye!
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Power Word Crit. We greatly appreciate all your support. If you enjoyed the episode, please tell your friends and your family about us. That's the best way to help us grow. You can follow us at Power Word Crit on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Tumblr, and X, the website formerly known as Twitter. Or if you want, you can send us an email at powerwordcrit@gmail.com. And check out our website, powerwordcrit.com, for character art and bios. Cavil seems to be vigorously cleaning something behind the bar.
Oh, Cavill, darling, it's so good to see you. Oh.
We are in the middle of recording a show.
It's in the middle of its schedule.
I don't care. So it is not a pressing thing, but you know,
Okay.
it's a story thing. I wanted to dangle it in front of you.
Yeah, well dangled.
I do
Marvelous.
enjoy a good dangle.
Language.